Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my very first Mortal Shell 2 video, a complete beginner's guide for your first hour of gameplay. I hope this video is helpful, and if you guys are stuck with the beginning parts of the game, I hope this will help. We'll dive into the weapons, the shells, a complete beginner build, and some handy pickups that you can pick up through your first hour of gameplay. I hope you've enjoyed the video everybody. Sit back, relax, let's get stuck in. So jumping in guys, first things first, if you've completed the beta or the prologue, you will land yourself at this bonfire here. So this will be the first pathway to Marrow's Keep. We grab Ruck's map and we can see on the map here, it's a nice cinematic path all the way to the base. Now before we go on our journey, let's turn back, go the opposite way, just like Soulslike games in general, and you pick up a coin of mammon, the first item of Mortal Shell 2. This is an item that we can use with Merrick the shopkeeper in the base. We can grab ourselves some early coin. Of course guys, enjoy the scenery, very immersive little intro here, and we can head our way over to Marrow's Keep. Once we've climbed through the passageway here, we can basically get to the entrance of the keep itself. We have Ruck where you can go through some of his dialogue, and on the left hand side we have a Devouts Chalice, which is another item that we can sell to Merrick in the hub itself for some extra coin. Simply place the ovum down on this pillow here for the disciples, and this will open the entranceway to the Marrow's Keep. Now, the first NPC is the Shellkeeper. You can run through her introduction, you'll also grab a trophy on PlayStation 5 as well, and basically, this lady here is very important. Later on in the game we'll go into more detail, but these shells are basically the backbone of the build. You can find them on locations of the map. They all have different abilities, they're very unique, and in this playthrough, we'll grab one for ourselves for a nice little build. So, moving on, let's go to the middle of the hub itself. We have the beacon. Over here we can basically change the shell equipment, the shades of our shell if you've completed the beta or pre-ordered the game itself. We can have a look at our weapons, exactly what they do, different seals, and we can level up as well if you have enough gloom. If we head on south from the beacon itself, we can basically go into this library as such. Very cool little area, but it gives you a quick introduction on how to use the ova or ovums that are unblemished, and we can basically place these into this siphon here, which can give us gloom. Now gloom is our currency, almost like souls on Dark Souls games, and we can use this gloom to level up our character. Now, let's move on slightly here. We can take the pathway up here as well. There's plenty of stuff to find out in this hub, so let's go through a little introduction. You have a couple of NPCs who I'm not too fond of what they exactly do, but if we carry on up here through the cave entrance and up to this big doorway, you'll see a man here by the wax smelt. Not entirely sure what he does, but more importantly we have Fars. Now this guy later on in the video will go into more detail once we've got our build, but he's the guy we go to upgrade our weapons and our ranged weaponry as well. Heading on back, we can go down this wooded staircase here. Now this area, we've got a few little pickups here. We grab this item here. Ventrium. Now Ventrium is a upgrade material, so very important. You'll get plenty of these in the playthrough, and we can use that to upgrade our weaponry and our ranged weaponry. Another coin of mammon, again, more coin. Coin is very important in this game, you'll find out later on as well. So make sure you stock up on your coin as much as you can. Moving on, you'll find a symbol by the wall here. This is a invisible wall. So if you just give it a quick attack with the right bumper on your weapon, we can basically chop these chains down, and this is a secret area in the game. However, you will need the Slayer seal to activate this contraption here, or you'll get blown back, like so. But in this video, I will show you where the Slayer seal is, and of course, don't forget to come back here and explore that in more detail if you'd like to do so. Moving on, we can grab ourselves some coins. Also, a quick tip guys, if you go onto the game settings, you can turn on auto pickup for coins. Definitely make sure you do that guys, it makes life a hell of a lot easier. Over here is the training NPC. We can basically use our untarnished seal, the infinite seal ranged weaponry. We can practice our parrying and whatnot as well. So definitely give her a shot as well. Moving back to the middle of the base and going east, we can then locate the Slayer seal, which is on this chair here. Now, the Slayer seal gives you a ton of combat benefits, basically, and ultimately it makes the game a hell of a lot easier. It's basically easy mode for the game. However, you won't get any achievements on your first playthrough. So do whatever you like, guys. If you want an easy playthrough and an easy game going forward, equip the Slayer Seal. However, you won't get any achievements, so keep that in mind. Now, if we head on just north of the Slayer Seal location, we will stumble across our good friend Merrick, the NPC. Now, this guy is the shopkeeper. He's very important. At the early stage of the game, the shop isn't open until later on in the video. However, it does give you a location for the forgotten crossbow, and this will be one of the items that we will go and grab in the playthrough. So make sure to come back to him. He has plenty of goodies, and we'll definitely do that in the video later on. So now that we've covered the majority of the base, or the main hub of the game, we can then carry on to this platform here, or the elevator, and we can head on out to the game itself. So once we've headed up to the top of the platform, we can talk to Rock again and exhaust his dialogue if you'd like to, or we can just simply head over here and we can traverse through the portal all the way to the first part of the map itself. Now once we're down here, there's plenty of stuff to do. There's some mini bosses, some shells, weaponry, loads of items, so we're going to get stuck right in to hopefully give you guys a good head start and a good baseline build basically to carry on for the rest of the playthrough, all the way until endgame. So once we're here at the beacon, we can head on north. Now there's a couple of things we can do first, but the first thing what we'll do is we'll head round this tree here behind us. We can grab these permanent pickup items. You'll get a quick tutorial or a quick explanation of what they do. And they're basically items that we can gather and increase passive abilities or effects. And we'll be using one very shortly with an NPC. Now with this statue here, this will give us a very good tarstone or beginner friendly tarstone at the beginning of the game. It's basically a challenge, so you simply attack these ghouls or phantoms as such. You can of course come back to this later on if you are struggling with this challenge. However, 2 will appear. Just simply practice your parry timing. You can riposte them for extra damage and executions. Use your ranged weaponry. This second wave is a little bit difficult if you're just starting out, so don't feel too defeated. You can always come back here later. Simply attack the enemies. Top up on your health as necessary. Once you've done that, you can achieve or pick up your gloom for some extra XP. And we can grab the Retribution Stone. So, tarstones are simply perks that we can add on to our shell or our character as such. You can get support perks, combat perks, all sorts of tarstones as such. And they all have different effects, like so. Now, the Retribution Stone is pretty handy. We can basically increase our riposte damage, so our execution damage, by a certain percentage. And you can gain passive effects. Now, the more XP you get in game, these stones will then level up according to your XP gain as well. So, very handy. Make sure to put that on, our very first tarstone. So, if we head on east here, we will come across Gorf, the giant toad. We can exhaust his dialogue, and I'm sure we'll be meeting him towards other areas or other parts of the game. But at this stage in the game, we can give him a welt cap, so one of those mushrooms that we picked up earlier. He will then gobble that up, and he will give you an item, the Marsh Pearl. So this one again, we can sell at the vendor, Merrick, for a whopping 2,000 coins, so very handy. Make sure you do this, guys. It's a nice little boost to your coin. So, let's head on over here, just past the ritual site. We can grab ourselves another material, or an upgrade material as such. And this is the section of the video where we can pretty much put together our first part of our build, or the main part, which is the shell. So, grab yourself this beacon here. So beacons are almost like checkpoints, and you can cleanse these beacons. As you can see, you can grab items after the corruption or after the cleansing. So if you want to, cleanse the beacon, guys, but for now, I'm going to leave this one. Let's head up this path here, and let's try and grab ourselves our very first shell. Blackridge Cliff, so we can go up this hill here. And there's an item, another material pickup. Now you come across this enemy, so they're not very hard if you're good at your parries. However, for myself, I found a safer option. Simply lure it to these barrels, get your shotgun out, give it a shot, and you can blow them up. Ideal. So we can pick up the gloom, and let's traverse into the cave. Now, of course, before I go too into detail, shells are personal preference. For me, I found Proxima to be a very good shell for a beginner build, and this is the shell that we'll be picking up, guys. So it's Proxima. We just simply need to click on it, unknown shell, so we can click yes. So you can obviously watch this. We get ourselves a trophy. Now, Proxima has a biosampler, so it's a very good ability. Just press triangle and you have a lightning sort of grab. And she has grafted armor, so you can get 15% damage reduction. As you can see, a quick tutorial or explanation of the character itself. And there we go, guys. That's the first shell for the build. So Proxima is very good towards the later stage of the game. So again, feel free to grab whatever shell you like. But personally, I'll be using Proxima for the majority of my playthrough. So grab over here the laterite off this tentacle here. Another material pickup, which is great for upgrading our weaponry. Back at the beacon, let's give it a cleanse. So cleansing beacons gives you glimpses, which are very important upgrade materials. And they're practically a dungeon or a little challenge, basically, where you explore the game, the dungeon itself, battle across enemies, different encounters or mini bosses, and then at the end you'll get a reward, and of course you will cleanse the beacon. Now this one, there are exploding barrels, so watch out for the explosions. Obviously take your time. Use your light attacks, your heavy attacks, your ranged weaponry. As you can see there, there's some barrels. So watch out for that. Clear through these enemies here. Parrying is very effective in this game, so make sure you time your parries effectively and correctly. And you can then engage in multiple riposts, which is going to bolster your damage and make your life a hell of a lot easier. As you can see, we have these tentacles. This is a resolve tentacle. So we attack this and we can gain our resolve, which is this yellow bar above our health bar. This is basically our ammunition for our ranged weaponry. So make sure to have that topped up and you can use your ranged weapons as much as possible. So towards this dungeon, we have this fellow here. He's not too difficult. We can take him out. Use our shell ability there. As you can see, we've got some lightning procs. Very handy. And we can access this chest here for some gloom. And a pretty hefty amount of coin there, which is nice. But of course, the main reward is the ovum, or the ovar, whatever you like to call it, which are these eggs. And we can bring those back to the base to grab ourselves some extra gloom. So now that cleanse is complete and the beacon is fully cleansed of corruption, we get one glimpse, and we can also pick up this glimpse. These glimpses are used for your shells, and we'll go into a little bit more detail on that later on. So let's track our way back from the beacon, so south. Work your way across the bridge. Watch out for these shield enemies. They can push you off the bridge. So take care with that. Grab yourself the necessary gloom and coin on the way. And Ruck, or the Ruck statues, they give you map fragments, so you can unlock, as you can see, parts of the map. Very handy indeed. So make sure you grab those while you're exploring the game. So the next piece to the build will be beyond this statue or building here. The main way to open these doors, guys, are to go through these portals as such. It's like an illusionary pathway, and if you look through it, it will unlock the door. Pretty clever, actually. I do like that mechanic. Very cool. So this dungeon, you do have 2 higher level enemies in this first pit. So be very careful. Obviously time your blocks, your parries. If you see a red flash as well, make sure to dodge. But take these 2 guys out, and then in the corner, what we want is this platform. Sorry, not platform, a button. We can press the button and it will unlock this gate. So we can now traverse the elevator downwards. And this area is the flooded village. It's full of poison enemies, so be careful. But what we want to do is just run past all of these enemies. Of course, feel free to attack them, but we're going to make our way down. Don't get stuck like I did. Go down here, past the poison creatures, and up onto the rooftops. Traverse all the way around and into this corner. And we'll grab ourselves a key, the damp key. If I just spin around, you can see exactly where I am. Jump on down, and if you'd like to, hit that tendril there for some extra gloom. Be wary of the poison enemies. They will follow you. So using our damp key, we can head back up the staircase that we went down just a minute ago. And this will unlock this door here. Open the door with a damp key. And here we go. You've got yourself the Forgotten Crossbow. So personally, I prefer this over the shotgun. It's fast. It's a nice crossbow. It's very useful for this build. Now, if we head on back to the beginning area, you'll come across the Great Arbiter of Flesh. So this is at the first beacon. This guy's pretty tough. He hits like a truck. So if you're not up for the challenge, don't worry, come back at a later date. However, if you do complete the fight, your parries are on point and you defeat him, you'll grab a nice tarstone from this guy called the Arbiter's Prize. Now this basically infuses your weapon with blood. It's a very strong tarstone, and of course, like I said, come back and give him a go if you're feeling up for the challenge. But if you can, put it on. It's a nice little tarstone to add to the build. You can also grab the Gloombound Flame, which turns the game into night mode, a burnt effigy, which I believe gives you burn resistance, and more importantly over here, the revered gland. Now, or revered gland, sorry. Now these are items that increase your potion efficiency or capacity. So if you take these back to the beacons, we now have 4 healing potions instead of 3. So, if you head on further north, you'll come across this little building with some dead enemies. Just showing off the Forgotten Crossbow here, guys. Very powerful, fast and effective weaponry there. So definitely give the crossbow a go. Come into here and you'll be able to venture on through to a dungeon where we can grab our next piece to our build. Now this dungeon, not too difficult, takes a little bit of time. It's a little bit challenging. You do have some enemies with torches here. So, of course, use your ranged weaponry, riposte and parry as much as you can. Get through the enemies. And in this corner here, there's another tendril, or gloom tendril. And I believe, there we are, there's a button, another button, which then opens up this gate here, or gateway as such. There's another lovely looking fellow here. So watch out for him. I think he has a mace as well. Take him down. And we can open up this chest. Now in this chest is another tarstone, an obsidian lathe as well. This is a material that we can use with fars to upgrade our ranged weaponry. Very important pickup, guys. Make sure you pick this up. And we also have the parasitic stone. So this is a leech type of tarstone. So pop that onto your character if you want to. Use your crossbow on the top of that gate and it will unlock the gate there as well. So you can head on out of the dungeon, up the elevator, and then we can move on with the playthrough. So as you've basically exited the dungeon, you can head on south up to this tree, and there's plenty of items around this area here. Use this jump pad first off. We can see our friend Ruck, and we can grab another map fragment. Very handy indeed. Make sure you're grabbing these map fragments. They make your life a hell of a lot easier for exploration. Then after that, we can jump down a cliff. There's a couple of important items, or handy items as such. And these friendly crabs. Very cool looking creatures. Very cool if you get the repost, as you can see. Using some WWE moves right there. So, take these guys out. Use some light attacks here quickly. And then just behind you, there's another Ventrium, so we can use that to upgrade our weapons later on in the video, or whenever you want to, really. Watch the bear traps. There's plenty of them in this area, so be careful. Take these 2 guys out. As you can see, not too difficult to take out. And over here, again, is some more material. Some common moonlight or moonshine, and some coin. Very handy. And if we traverse back, we can hit this tendril here for some more gloom. I would say make sure to use these guys because it will add up throughout the course of your playthrough. Check the notice board as well for some lore bits and pieces here. And this will be our first area, which is Gloom Village. You can head on north here, guys. There are plenty of enemies, but what we want to do is just head on north, and we can hit this beacon up the hill here. Pick up the materials as you progress through. And we're going to take a path east, and then we're going to take a path west as well. So, first things first, let's cleanse the beacon. Now, this one has a mini-boss with 2 minions next to it and a few enemies. Not too difficult, a little bit lengthy. I'll walk you guys through it. Just hit this elevator here. So anyway, guys, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, and give me some feedback if you like. That would be much appreciated. So, take this lovely looking fellow out with your crossbow. We can head on down again. Grab the gloom and coin as well. Make sure to have that auto pickup on, guys, for coins. Very handy. So, of course, if you don't know, the more hits you do get in, this will replenish your resolve, so then you can use your sidearm as well. Just casually getting clobbered by this guy. Let's venture on again. We need to hit this fence. Jump on down. Use our crossbow. Manage your resolve as much as possible, because that sidearm is very effective against these enemies. Can then just do a few hits on this guy. Top up your health as necessary. Head on down. Another tendril. Let's take these guys out first. Use our sidearm. As you can see, the crossbow is pretty decent, to be honest. Let's get that gloom. So this area, we will obviously collect some glimpses, and we're going to collect a handy tarstone as well for the build. A couple of enemies around the corner. I like to lure them so they're on their own, as it can be overwhelming if you're getting hit by 2 enemies so early on. Should realistically be parrying these guys, but I'll just go brute force. Still works, which is all good. So, now that we've taken out the majority of the small enemies, we can head over to the chest, open the chest up, and in here we'll be grabbing the emberseed stone. Now, the emberseed stone, basically, it's very effective for your sidearms, for the crossbow. It will inflame it, basically, and it just provides extra damage. So if we head on to the end of the dungeon, just around the corner, we'll meet the mini-boss. Now, take out these guys, as these will heal the mini-boss. It can be very frustrating, so take them out as quick as you can. And what I like to do here is use the crossbow with the emberseed stone. So press square on the PS5 controller to engulf your crossbow with flames. Get out some burn damage, and once you've defeated the mini-boss, we can then grab our gloom. If you've been watching the playthrough, you'll have plenty of gloom and coin by now. And then we can cleanse the beacon. So we've got another ovum, which then we can take back to the base or hub and grab some more gloom. So, moving on east, guys, we're going to pick up a few items, or a very important item, one of the keys. Come up this staircase for some coin. 250 coin, not shabby at all. And there'll be plenty of these ladies here. We need to take them out quickly. So let's take this one out. Take these 2 out. Watch their attacks, they are quite aggressive, I must say. And we can head on down this bridge. Play it nice and safe, take them out from range. Get a couple of swings in. You can brute force your way through their attacks, but they will chunk your health bar a little bit. So, once you've taken all the enemies out, as you can see before, there's another portal. This will show that there's a key on this statue. So let's grab this key here, the chapel key, very important. Very handy key indeed. We can come over here as well for some more coin, which is helpful. Go back to the beacon, and then we'll head west, and over here you will find the Grisha hunters. Now this guy sells some pretty handy gear. He offers you a cage key, which we will be purchasing, some welt caps, some common moonshine, so we can grab all these materials. And more importantly, it's the Grisha remnant. Now, if you played Elden Ring, you will remember stuff like this. This is basically a familiar, or a summon as such, that you can summon in combat. and he'll come out and help you in combat. So very effective, very helpful. If you're having a tough time with a certain enemy, you can whack this guy out and he'll be more than happy to help you. So make sure you purchase that if you've got the coin to do so. Go back to the grishas. You can open the cage to basically let this guy out. You'll get a sheephead totem, which turns you into a sheep for whatever reason. And just beyond this point is the door that we will use the key for. And we can head on down to this dungeon. The Shrine of Trials. So this one, pretty easy. The enemies are quite straightforward, but with this puzzle, you want to look at the king and walk backwards, and this will open the doorway. So if you're stuck on that, guys, there you go. Hopefully that's helped. Take out this ghoul. There's basically some blocks that you need to move. So you can stab it with your weapon and it will move the block, and you basically just need to land that block up with the platform on the floor. So quite straightforward. In this room, take out these two guys. Nice and easy. And again, there's two block statues. We just need to hit them into position onto the platforms that are on the floor, and that will open up this door. Now behind this door is this knight. He does a lot of damage actually, and I must say his combos are pretty aggressive. So once you've got the parry timing down, you can take him out. Might take a little while to get used to his combos. They are quite here and there. Once you've defeated him though, we can come on over here and we can grab ourselves the axe and dagger. This is personally my favourite set of weapons, guys, and it's very effective on this build, especially for a beginner build. So I hope you enjoy that one. They're very quick, agile weapons. Now, once we've done that, go back to the beacon, reset the map state, and these guys will be dead. The Grisha pup has taken them out, so we can grab some more materials, go over to the Grisha pup. He will thank you for letting him free, and you can grab yourself a glimpse. Again, very important material. So now that's all out of the way, guys, we can go back to the base, or the hub as such, and let's go into a little bit more detail on the NPCs. So we can come over here to the gloom siphon. Let's deposit our siphoned ovums for some more gloom. Now, the Shellkeeper. So we can do shell bonding and shell abilities. Now, depending on what shell you want, make sure you're happy with the shell and pump your glimpses into the shell you want, because I don't think you can get these back. I might be wrong, but just be wary on that. So shell bonding is basically upgrading your shell, and these abilities or attunement levels, you can then spend your shell points to upgrade your shell. Very handy. Proxima has some brilliant upgrades and capabilities on her shell, so I'm really interested in upgrading this. I'll definitely be using Proxima for the rest of the playthrough. So now that we've upgraded our shell, we can head over to Fars now. So we can give him the materials that we've collected, and this will allow us to basically kickstart this machine so we can upgrade our weapons. Very handy. And of course, we'll be coming back to this guy plenty of times throughout the playthrough to upgrade our weapons and ranged weaponry. So you can enhance whichever weapon you like. The axe and dagger is a very good weapon, guys. It's a very good beginner weapon. Of course, it's at +3 already. So do whatever you like, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'll certainly be leveling up that and the crossbow for this build as well. And last but not least, our good friend Merrick. His shop is now officially open. He's got tons of goodies. So in the maps merchant section, you can basically purchase these map fragments and their locations that will pop up on the map, like the Veteran's Battle Axe or all of these kind of goodies here, and you can find them. He's also got some rare findings, so revered glands, they can help you with your healing capacities, vessels, glimpses, all kinds of stuff, guys. So if you've got enough coin, make sure to purchase these items. Now, if you've been watching the video enough, you can obviously do this as well. We're going to sell all of our items that we've picked up for a hefty amount of coin, which is very helpful. So feel free to grab as much as you can from this guy. He's got some stones too, some tarstones for sale, which will enhance your charged heavy and light attacks. And that's pretty much it, guys. That is the beginner guide playthrough, and I hope that this will help you with your first hour of gameplay. So we've got the Proxima build online. We've got some nice weaponry, some decent tarstones. We've got some blood infusion, some flame infusion for our crossbows, and we're pretty much set to then explore more of the game. And of course, we also have our Grisha Revenant as well to summon. So, I hope you've enjoyed the video, everybody. If you like what you see, of course, give me some feedback below. I would love to do more Mortal Shell 2 content in the future, guides, builds, all sorts. So, thank you so much for watching. And of course, guys, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.